Hey, how's it going, everybody? My name is Joshua, aka I Like the Bubbles, and I'm back at you today with some good content. Another video about I just want to give you all a little insight about how to find what type of vehicle, what type of equipment, pretty much, that you would need to start your carrier service or your expediting business over the road, and not just, okay, so this guy has this van, he's doing this, let me do it as well. But in all actuality, you might not need the same van that I have. You may need a smaller van. You may need a bigger Sprinter, or maybe even a 16-foot box truck for what you want to do for that account, that dedicated account that you'll be working under, or that direct contract that you may end up getting. So, with all that being said, I just want to run this question that was left on one of my previous videos. A guy had left, so without further ado, I'll throw that question up right now. All right, so that question said, hey man, I have a question in regard to the van you run. How long and tall is yours? And if you could start again, would you have a larger van or a smaller van starting? That was actually a pretty good question. Not only did he ask what van I have, he asked how long and tall it was as well. So that means I'm gonna show you all the dimensions that I have on my van and why I chose this size of a van specifically, for me. Let's say would I have a large, pretty much the same thing. So basically, pretty much, I'm gonna take y'all outside, I'm gonna show you what type of van I got, and I'm gonna show you this. All right, so check it out. This is a Ram ProMaster 3500. I know it's a little dirty. Right now. I'd be wrong if I just showed you all the clean van, because this is pretty much how it looks on maybe a day-to-day basis. Maybe not all the mud and everything, but just the dirt, it being dirty itself. And let's see the back over here. Stuff like that, pretty much at the end of the week, that's what it will look like. All right, y'all, so check it out. This is what I have right here, right? I know it's kind of dirty, but messy, or whatever you want to say. I got my scraps, 1,100 pound scraps on this side, 300 to 500 pound scraps right here on this side, with a few corner protectors, things like that or whatever. And so this van that I have, it is a Ram ProMaster 3500, like I just said. And so it is a extended also, but the thing is, right, even though it says that I have 159 inches, when you buy the van or whatever extended, this is what you need to do. And like I was saying, I know it's a bit messy back here because I literally just got done doing a route not too long ago. So, you're just gonna have to bear with me. And, you gotta understand that as well. Your van is not gonna look perfect all the time, but every day after my route, I do go back to the warehouse and I clean all this up, get ready for the next day, and so this doesn't always look like this. I just wanted to show you all this just on what to expect. Like, for example, today I had 1,800 pounds of freight to unload, but we'll get into that a little later on in the video. But anyway, okay, so like I was saying, when you buy the van, they'll tell you have 159 inches, right? So take this part of the floor right here, like basically where the door closes at right here. See all this? It's pretty much a good inch. That right there is about a good inch. So you can probably add an extra inch to it if you would like. But me, I just measured from this line right here, and I come all the way down over here, right? Ooh, try not to fall. From where this wall right here, as a matter of fact, from this wall, where this wall was sitting, there's actually like a line on the floor that you can see. So pretty much from about like right here, I would want to say. And so you'll take a tape measure from that line all the way down and measure it out. So right now I have 150 inches just because I took the wall out. When I took that wall out, it added about an extra, I want to say 4 to 6 inches out from what I remember. So just keep that in mind. That is how you will measure your length. And as far as your width, right? I know a lot of people, I seen one guy, he measured from wall to wall, and that's a huge no-no. If you go to a broker, they might not even look at your bid if you submit it, just because they know damn well you don't have 80 inches of width in a cargo van and a Ram ProMaster. Common knowledge will tell you. So what you want to do is, from wheelbase to wheelbase, I have 54 inches, 54, 55. It's one of them, but it's something like that. So from that wheelbase, I know it's holding for, don't worry about it, but from that wheelbase over there, that is what you want to do. And as far as your height goes, So you see these racks right here, not the racks, but the hinges, I would want to say. Right here, the top of this right here, this is where you want to take your tape measure to start. And back at that line on the floor right there, where that comes up at right there, kind of that little slope, that hump or whatever, you want to take your tape measure, go from there to there. And from there, I have about 69 inches. So going from the floor all the way to the roof, that is a no-no, because that's about maybe 6'2". So, you know, just keep that in mind. You always want to go by the clearance that you have, okay? And so, that being said, take you back up front. All right, so now that I show you all my dimensions that I have back there, I want to give you the reasoning. Okay, according to the business plan that I had when I first started, and I still do have it or whatever, I planned on getting multiple loads in this van at once, going one way. So like, let's say I go all the way from Texas to Illinois. That's about, like, from where I live or from where I would get a load from, let's say out of Laredo, that would be about 1,300 miles plus from like Laredo or Houston up to Illinois, right? So 1,300 miles, you're taking one pallet that far for, you know, dollar mile or, you know, whatever that case may be. And let's say I got all the extra space back there. I have room to add an additional 2 pallets, you know what I mean? And add that on top of the load that I already have. So when I first started, I knew in my head that's exactly what I wanted to do. So my goal was to find the biggest and the cheapest van I could find at the time, because I didn't really know if this was going to work, or, you know, it's a business. Not everything works for everybody, but and even if you do have a solid business plan, you know, this all of this was pretty much a wave that everybody, you know, they try to come up on. But the thing was, I took 6 to 8 months to figure out how I was going to do it. I didn't just up and go buy a van, or, you know, go get some insurance, or, you know, go start looking at vehicles or nothing like that. Nah, I took the time out to see, you know, and figure these things out. Like, I know, like, say for instance, like this, I figured out how semi trucks got their freight, the box trucks, cargo vans, sprinter vans, and the hot shots as well. Like, I wanted to know all of that, and so that's what I figured out along the way. I was figuring out how to file the proper tax identification class or whatever. I forgot what it's called, but whatever type of LLC to file, you know, those type of things, you know, that I, you know, just took time and to figure out, right? And so, like me now, I currently have a dedicated medical account and a dedicated well, I'm not talking about that one yet, but I do have 2 dedicated accounts that I work on. I talked about them. I didn't go in much detail about the accounts, but you can see on my older YouTube videos when I went and got those accounts. But the thing was, what ended up happening with that, I wasn't 21 yet, so I couldn't start working under those accounts. So now, me being 21, I can, you know, sign those contracts, work under work directly under a shipper, or directly with that shipper brokerage, because most of these shippers, they have brokerages now. And, you know, of course, everybody, you know, want to own a brokerage. Everybody want to get the most money they can, but you got to think, we kind of late on that. But the warehouse has always been built, things like that. New contracts are being made. You know, it's nothing to go out there and go get them. But back to the question, the guy, he said, would I change anything about this van that I have? And me personally, no, I wouldn't, because this is the exact space I need. And so, like, they say, for instance, like on my medical route for today, I only had 4 deliveries. It was about 160 miles, give or take. I would say give, but you know, those 4 trips, they weigh about 1,800 pounds. This van holds 4,331 pounds. So pretty much I only use a good, I would say, about, according to the weight that I only like to go up to about 3,800 pounds. So I could have put an additional, you know, 1,500 to 2,000 pounds back there, and, you know, with me comfortable driving with it, right? And so, yeah, like, understand that. So I didn't really use up my whole van for today, versus other days where I would have maybe 9 stops. Like if I'm working out of Houston, right now I'm in Oklahoma City, and I can have 9 stops, but I can't fit all that in my van. So I break down as much as I can according to the route, and then, well, they already have it routed, so pretty much I already know what to put in the van and go back to the warehouse and then load myself back up again, you know. And so that's another thing that you want to take into consideration with, you know, what type of company you're about to work with. You know, what type of equipment are you going to get? Do you need a round ProMaster 3500 extended? Do you need this big of a van? Do you need a Mercedes Sprinter? Fucking 170-inch wheelbase is all that space necessary. You know what I mean? Are you going to be using it? And so, and let's say I will say this: the other account that I have that I work on when I'm not doing my medical deliveries back home, we have a lot of office supplies being loaded up in the back. So up to 300 pieces, you know, fit going back there. So, you know, of course, you know, I use all this space. So, you know, it's good to have. It's just according to your business plan that you have. And it's okay with working under multiple accounts. You just have to be thorough, be direct when you're talking to those shippers, to those guys. Let them know exactly what you're here to do, when you'll be available, you know, all type of things like that. And you know, just be 100% honest with them. Let them know what you got going on, everything like that. And so, you know, with all that being said, you know, just take your time and figure these things out. I wouldn't say go rush to start your business, because, you know, it has its ups, it has its downs, but you won't really see the awe moments, I would say, until like you really been doing this and you learn the ins and the outs. And I can say this: if you watch this video this long, I just want you to understand this. These vehicles, these box trucks, cargo vans, sprinter vans, hot shots, whatever, semi truck, unless you're getting paid, I want to say like top dollar, bro. And this, I learned this the hard way. Like, you know, they tell us sprinter vans move for $1 a mile or like $1.10, you know, whatever. And I was happy with it at the time, but old head, I remember him in one of those Facebook group chats, right? He was like, this equipment is not made to go over the road. Like, and you know, of course it is, but just understand what he was saying. Equipment that you own personally is not made to go over the road. And when he said that, I was like, what do you mean by this? Like, I knew it I didn't take it literal. You know, it was just a statement that he had made, and I was like, okay. So pretty much these little dollar miles and this type shit it's not worth it. That's pretty much what he was saying. All those miles and everything, and you know, that's what I've learned myself. So right now I'm sitting at exactly 297,400 miles. When I bought this van, it was at 192,000, a little over that. And so I've already put 100,000 miles on my van just from doing all the over the road driving. And that's in less than, I want to say, what this is August, so that's less than 10 months, maybe 10 months, give or take, or whatever. But that's less than 10 months, not even a year now. I already put 100,000 miles on this. But now that I'm working with the medical account, I'm doing about, I want to say the minimum I did was about 1,300 miles to about 2,400 miles. It could be more than that, you know, all depends on, but you know, that's just something that you want to take into consideration about the maintenance and the things like that you can do on these vehicles, that you'll have to deal with on these vehicles. Your tires, I know the last time I replaced my tires, they were about $800, but the thing was, they weren't even the 10-ply tires, so I really put the wrong tires on here. So, you know, I like to run 10-ply, just me personally, but you know, so you just gotta think and understand, hey, you got these tire sizes, the bigger they are, the more expensive, of course. Tire shops right now, the tires are very scarce for whatever reason right now. So, you know, just keep all that in mind. And of course, these are easy to work on. That's why, me personally, I wouldn't get a 2017 and above. Like this Ram right here, it is a 2017. But if I had the choice and choose to go back, I wouldn't get a newer one by any means. I would stay between like a 2014 and a 2017. But that's just me personally, because pretty much they're already broken in. They're over the road. They're gas vehicles, pretty good mileage, 22 mpg. And you know, as long as you got the right air pressure in your tires, everything like that, the weight distributed evenly in your back, you know, it'll be you'll be okay. And so, you know, just keep all that in mind. The Ram ProMaster Cities, those are for smaller medical carriers, like maybe your CVS and the Walgreens. But I work with a bigger medical company, so you know, it all depends on how you go about finding your freight, and you know, just things like that, how your business plan going. You know, with all that being said, I'm gonna go ahead and cut this video short right here. I got a longer video coming out tomorrow, and I just want to say I apologize for uploading these videos, I think like my last 2 videos, when I uploaded them, they didn't have sound at a certain point. I just want to say I apologize for that. I was rushing trying to upload them, and I wasn't making sure that everything was broken down. Well, I was making sure it broken down properly, but the volume part, I was just skimming through it, and yeah, I messed it up. So I do apologize for that. And I have a link tree down below. So if you want to follow me, get in contact with me, do a one-on-one, anything like that, go click on that link tree. Let's chop it up. I prefer you all to hit me up on Instagram. You can add me on Facebook or whatever, but you can add me on there. Snapchat, everything is pretty much the same. TikTok, whatever. It's all the same. I like the bubbles. That's social media name. So click on that link, give me a follow, and let me know what's up. Any questions you got, leave them below, and I'll get to them. And maybe, hopefully, my next video, something to sort like that. With all that being said, peace, blessings. You all be safe.